Another item that continues to linger, although the Bengals have done a pretty good job for most of the offseason in selling the nothing to see here routine. And we've established that the NFL's real motto should not be football is family. It should be nothing to see here. The Bengals have sold us all that there's nothing to see here on the future of Joe Mixon. They want the veteran running back on the team, but possibly on their own terms. Paul Dehner Jr. of The Athletic recently pushed the idea that it's just a matter of time before the Bengals approach Mixon with a request that he realign his contract to better fit the overall realities of the running back market. That's a delicate way of saying they plan to go to him and say, you either got to take less money than the 10 plus million you do to make this year, or you're going to be gone. That's the real message. You can package it however you want, realigning your contract. If you don't, what's going to happen? What's the or else? Hey, Joe, we'd like you to take less money. Well, I'd like to not take less money. Okay. End of conversation. No. The message is anytime a player, a veteran player, is approached with an idea, a possibility, a win-win. You know how it's a win for a player? You still have your spot on the team. You still are making good money, just not the money you thought you were going to make. So for the Bengals, if they're going to do it, the question is timing. Because once you go to training camp, if he shows up at training camp with his $10+ million salary and would suffer as we, and I don't want to jinx him by saying this, but we know what happens once it's time to go to practice. Even though practices aren't as grueling as they used to be, there are still injuries. Injuries happen. Running backs get injured. Running backs get hit. They step a certain way. They cut a certain way. And injuries can occur to the lower extremities. So if that would happen to Joe Mixon before he would do a new deal, the Bengals would be on the hook for the full salary for this year if it was a season ender. So there's merit in trying to get this done before training camp. The other side of the coin, though, is the longer it lingers in camp and preseason and the closer we get to week one, what are the options for Joe Mixon at that point? Where is his or else? Where is there a team that would pay him more than whatever the Bengals would offer on a reduced salary? And that's the key. The $10 million goes away. What are the Bengals willing to pay less than that? And how does that compare to what someone else would do? And that's when it becomes imperative on the agent to entice teams to tamper. Even though it's a violation, everybody does it, and the agent's job is to gauge the market. So the agent knows what's behind door number two. You know what's behind door number one. It's whatever the Bengals would be willing to pay. You can't properly evaluate that offer unless you know what else is out there. And then for the Bengals, the question is, what else is out there for us? The depth chart isn't chock full of experience. Dalvin Cook is out there, but the question becomes, okay, if you offer, and I'm just throwing a number out, $8 million to Joe Mixon, and he says no. What does Dalvin Cook say yes to? And does it make sense to swap out Joe Mixon for Dalvin Cook? Is that what they're thinking about doing? Would Cook want to do it? Puts him in a position to potentially win a Super Bowl. Maybe he would. All comes down to money. And that's one of the realities with this running back position. We've written about it. We'll be talking about it, how young running backs get screwed by the rookie wage scale, and they put their best work in at a time when they're not making much money. Older running backs then get screwed by the market. Sorry, Joe, the market no longer supports the money we've committed to pay you this year. We'd like you to take less money. And remember, one of the keys to protect yourself against that, if you're a player, if you're an agent, and I don't know how strongly the teams push back on these things, but it's critical to have significant money that gets paid or guaranteed early in the league year. It forces the team to make a decision. Ideally, you want the full salary to become fully guaranteed at the start of the league year. Then the team has to either cut the guy while the money is flowing in free agency and the options are less limited, or keep him one way or the other. Now, the Vikings with Dalvin Cook, they had to guarantee $2 million of his base salary this year because he was on the roster third day of the league year. I don't think they could have cut him if they wanted to then because of his shoulder. I don't think he would have passed a physical on the way out the door. So the $2 million was going to be guaranteed no matter what. But it's only $2 million. If he plays for someone this year pretty good chance he's making the $2 million. You need something more than that. You need something that forces a real decision. It's harder to get in the out years of contracts. And my guess is teams fight back against that. They pay money up front with signing bonus and full guarantees, and they want the flexibility on the back end. And that flexibility includes the opportunity to let a situation linger all the way through March, April, May, June, July, August, and then go to the player just as the season is about to start and say, we need you to realign your contractual expectations for this year. Otherwise, you're not going to be on the team. And oh, by the way, everyone else has spent their budget. They've set their rosters. There's nowhere for you to go. So you better take this offer we're going to make for you to make a lot less than you were supposed to make to do the same damn thing that you were going to do for a lot more money. Something to keep an eye on as we continue through the quiet time and as training camp approaches.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.